Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 327. We're talking about drugs. What drug is our favorite? Which ones we've tested and tried? It's our official drug tier list.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite drug? Actually, Andrew, I reckon you've certainly dabbled. I'm sure, but
Never.
like I think out of the three of us, you'd be the most likely to be addicted to drugs.
I really want to hear why. Let's get into this. Go ahead.
I feel like because you would do it and you would have such an extreme creative effect, you'd turn into a creative visionary when you're on those drugs that it would become such an addictive feeling for you.
You think
I think I'd
try them.
If I did drugs, I think I'd just feel itchy. That's the only effect it would have on me.
You think I'd be like those jazz savants in the 50s and 60s where I'm doing heroin in the back alley and coming out with some of the greatest jazz riffs and beats you've ever heard, right?
Yeah.
What does itchy mean here? Like crack itches?
Yeah, my skin would just itch. I wouldn't feel comfortable in my body. I
don't think that's what weed does.
Weed absolutely did that to me. Weed absolutely did that to me. I've told the story before.
Made you itchy?
When I tried, it made me anxious, which I guess is like the spiritual vibe of itchiness. Let's say
it's the manifestation of it.
Yeah. It made me very uncomfortable, and not at all what I thought being high would do to me. That was during like high school and shit, so I never touched it again after that.
Oh, I get it. High school. That's when you did it. That's a good joke.
Yeah. I thought it was the best time to do it.
That was a good pun. Yeah.
That's all it took to scare you straight.
Yeah.
So how long has it been since you've done weed? Like 8 years, 9 years?
This is more testimony or evidence that you should just give high schoolers bad drugs, make them go on a bad trip first, and then they'll never touch it again. Like I did.
I think we need to acclimate them early. Get the high schoolers to try every drug just to see if they like it, just to see if they want to be on it. Then we'll know early if we need to facilitate that or if they're going to be, functional members of society. Start as early as you can.
We're going to tell if they're cool to hang out with while they're high.
Yeah.
If they vibe well.
They're going to grow up to be pioneers or fucking losers and dorks, nerds.
90% of them
Virgins
will fall into the latter.
All I'm saying is that court case about me putting fentanyl in that school's water supply really needs to be dismissed. I was doing a public service. They deserved it, if anything.
Yeah. No argument here.
Yeah. So let's see. Jackson, you would be a real, like, boring, letdown, kind of tragic addiction. I think you'd be pain pills would be your go-to. Like, just really not fun. Really bad, really tragic.
Oxycontin.
Your mom would be sitting at the dinner table shaking her head, just being like, I don't know what to do about Jackson. And that's just where your story ends. I think I would be cocaine.
Where did we go wrong?
I think I disagree. I disagree. Wait, I disagree. I think I would be something like stupid, like Lego, or some kind of weird addiction to something. Yes, absolutely.
We've done the
not a drug. You can't cheat.
Yeah, we've done the
I'm not even being
Legos
funny.
and gaming addicting thing before. I'm talking actual substance addictions. Come on, stay on task.
Yeah, but I don't think I would get addicted to like a substance like that because I really do not like
pills.
No,
that's what they all say.
Yeah.
All right.
That's such a junky thing to say.
Really?
What? The things that make you sleep. I guess I can see myself getting addicted
pills.
to.
That's what they do for a lot of them. They make you mellow out and feel warm and fuzzy and relaxed.
And night nurse.
Yeah, night nurse.
Well, I was gonna say,
great example.
I was gonna say Kai would be the pain pill guy.
No.
He's literally House.
No.
It would literally be House.
No.
Come on.
I figured I have seen in the future. I contacted the spirit oracle of the neighboring tribe, and she waved her little bush babies into the fire, and I saw what's going to happen. Jackson, you were going to be laying in your bed on pain pills, having no desire to give them up because you love it too much. Kaya is going to spiral deep into alcohol into kind of a nasty way, but then it's going to stop working for him the way he wants it, and then that's when he's going to start like doing
drunk.
Yeah, he's going to get like mean drunk, violent drunk, really nasty, but it's not going to hit the way that he wants it to be. So that's when he's going to be like, I replaced all my calories with beer. I tried grain alcohol under the sink. I'm going to AA meetings just because they give free coffee and I can say I was there. that kind of shit. And then me, I'm going to be in my penthouse in a fucking boardroom meeting. No, hang on. It's not a good ending. None of us have good endings. I'm going to be in my penthouse in a boardroom meeting.
You're living in a penthouse. You're living way better than Kaya, who's living out of his toilet.
Jackson, hang on. Did Scarface end happily? You've seen that. Come on. Well, I'm going to be at a boardroom meeting. I'm going to be at a boardroom meeting in a penthouse, slamming my fist on a table with more cocaine than the entire fucking civilization of Colombia. It's going to be caked all over my face. I'm going to be white-facing myself inappropriately with it, and I'm going to be screaming at gangsters from foreign countries saying, "This isn't enough! It's not enough, you motherfuckers!" And one of them is going to have too much of my shit and pull out a gun and shoot me like 30 times. Just straight right there, and I'm gonna bleed out.
When you get the badass ending, and Jackson and I just get the expiring alone and are like gracelessly dying.
Well, now here's the twist, though. Here's the twist. Here's the post credits. The credits roll on our story. It's Requiem for a Dream 2. These were our stories. The credits roll, and then it fades back in, and there's a knock on Jackson's door. He's in his hospital bed in his house, and he looks at the door, and it's Kaya, and he's sober, and he's got his hair slicked back. And he goes,
double-sided dildo.
And he goes, "Jackson, I want to recruit you." And he hands him a card for the Avengers and the Marvel music sting. The Marvel music sting plays, and it all fades out. And I'm just dead, and you two get to be superheroes.
Yeah, that sounds
awesome.
I'd
rather drink myself to death.
I'm good.
If I see fucking Samuel L. Jackson with that stupid eye patch, I'd rather just die in a drunk driving accident. No, that's graceless.
There should be. You could be like the first alcoholic superhero in the Avengers, surely.
I think that's Iron Man. Really cool. You stupid idiot! You don't watch the movies.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
He's not alcoholic in that way. No, he's not the one. He's not alcoholic in the way where he's making moonshine out of his toilet.
There are multiple comic books written from the perspective of, I have all this money and power and smarts, and yet I'm addicted to alcohol. One of the most famous Iron Man stories about how he starts hallucinating his suit is real because he's so fucked up and drunk.
I'm not talking about your nerd shit. I'm talking about the mainstream. I'm talking about the mainstream movies that everone's watched.
Alcohol doesn't make you hallucinate.
I feel like it could if you really are just deep into it and you're in like a haze. I feel like you could maybe imagine shit, right? To a degree.
I don't know. Maybe if you're just thinking stuff, but not hallucinating.
I'm not talking like
I know you can hallucinate if you're
but I imagine imagining shit that didn't happen would be definitely possible. You know, hearing and seeing stuff in that way, for sure.
Yeah, probably, and then you would forget about it.
True.
The next morning.
Yeah.
Self-wiping memories.
Yeah. No, I just see cocaine, alcohol, and pills kind of fitting our personalities.
I remember reading, after I heard it about it on House, I remember reading about Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. It's the thing you get like wet brain. Is the colloquial term. Like when someone drinks so fucking much. Yeah, wet brain. They call it that because you literally, if you drink that much, your brain develops little like holes in it filled with liquid.
Oh my God.
They call it wet brain. If you're at that stage, I think they either house it's at like pump him full of vitamin B1 or something, because that's like the last defense of, okay, we can either save him right now or he's a goner. But when you're at that stage, you do something called confabulation, where you make up memories. Like you genuinely remember something and think it really happens. And I think you can also just hallucinate and seize and die.
Oh.
Which is...
I feel like that happens to me already, the confabulation or whatever the hell you said.
Ooh, no, wait, that's Kaya's graceful ending. He ends up on an episode of House as the patient, and House treats his Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome with vitamin B1 pills, and he makes a full recovery. Jackson still...
Maybe I could be wrong.
Jackson still dies in his bed on pain pills. So.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Wernicke-Korsakoff, wet brain. I know it's like irreversible after a certain stage.
Yeah, I would assume the stage where it's irreversible is when you start getting holes full of water in your brain or whatever you said, pockets full of liquid.
Australian syndrome,
I don't think that can be reversed.
Yeah. Permanent brain damage associated with WKS. Yeah, you literally drink yourself retarded at some points, and there's just no going back after a certain limit. Once the vitamins don't do anything anymore.
Well, so wait, this is from alcohol? You get this from alcohol, from drinking?
Yeah. Long-term alcohol abuse. But I think you have to be like hard.
You have to be
not just so
really
that guy drinks
a
little too much after work, and he gets mean and kind of mouthy towards his wife. Like, this is shit that hobos get. At least the old school hobos.
This is like
not the
like a life of like 3 beers,
soft hobos,
3 beers a week, like kind of life, like really intense shit. You know?
Did you say 3 beers a week?
Yeah, really hardcore drinking. You know how on the pills when you get prescriptions, it's like don't have more than 3 drinks while taking this. It's like the people who say, "Well, I can have 2 and be okay." It turns out you can't. You'll just ruin your life. You got to be careful.
Wait, are you saying 3 beers a week? Are you joking?
I've never told a joke on this podcast in my life, Jackson.
Okay. I can't fucking tell anymore, man.
You really are going to die of pills in a bed. And Oracle really did speak to me from a neighboring village. It was real. It really happened.
Maybe it did.
I know that too. And then you look at the CDC recommendations and it's like, we all know it's not good for you, but also what's the recommendation? Like 10 drinks a week is considered heavy abuse or something, or heavy use.
Your doctor recommends you drink 10 beers a week.
That's 2 or 3 drinks a day on average, right?
Like, yeah, it's like 2 shots after work. Okay, that's I wouldn't really consider that even drinking.
That's funny though. Just you get straight home from work and go, all right, time to pound my 2 shots to relax.
Yeah. Absolutely no purpose other than to just have them, basically. Like, what's that going to do?
Fuck.
Right. At least like sip on it with some whiskey or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was funny to me though, finding out that like alcohol, even though it's considered one of the like, we don't even call it a drug, but the withdrawal is actually, it's one of the few drugs where the withdrawal alone can kill you. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't think withdrawal from nicotine can kill you, right?
We should classify alcohol as a drug. The shit that it's terrible for you. Alcohol absolutely ruins your body in the long run. Yeah, it's horrible. Like another argument.
Industry.
Another argument that I've seen a lot, and I completely agree with, was when it was talking about weed legalization sweeping America. It's the idea that not a single person has died from weed withdrawal or overdose or any of that. Meanwhile, God knows how many people drink themselves to death every year or get horrible illnesses from it. And alcohol's totally legal. Alcohol fucks you up real bad if you're not careful with it.
And it fucks other people up too. People who don't even drink.
Yeah.
Like think about all the car accidents that are caused by it, as well as domestic violence, things like that.
Yeah, alcohol is real shitty, but it's cultural.
At least I don't have to smell it.
I agree. I agree that weed gets the unfair advantage of being like kind of universally loved when it does have negative effects. Maybe not to the degree. I don't think it has it to the degree that
the main point that I make in relation to that is if alcohol is legal, weed should be legal, and I don't think there's a single argument that counters that idea. Weed as a whole is so much less detrimental than alcohol is to society.
Like Kaya's argument that it's stinkier, therefore it should be more illegal.
Good point, yeah.
No. Well, my issue, if I was dictator of my own caliphate, edibles should be legal, smoking not. I cannot tell you how annoying it is when some dude like stinks up the whole block at like 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Like, dude,
I'm okay with the
drink. At least if you drink on your couch, I don't have to deal with it.
I'm okay with the regulations they have for cigarettes. Like, you can't smoke in restaurants or public spaces. In your own home, it's fine. It depends. Like, I'd be okay with looking into that.
I think they should bring back smoking in crowded spaces exclusively. That's the only place you're allowed to smoke.
Yeah, we should flip it. Smoking should be mandatory in public spaces so you fit in and feel cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't believe airplanes used to be full of people smoking. That always breaks my brain thinking about that.
I know, to this day with the little cigarette thingies.
God, you remember? Yeah, restaurants. You used to go into restaurants and they would have smoking sections, and half of it would just be filled with people fucking smoking. And
I've never had that.
It was so weird.
I've never had that experience. The only experiences where I've had forced encounters with cigarettes is from my dad, who would like lock us in the car with him smoking at the time.
You weren't driving anywhere. You were just sitting in the car while he smoked.
Yeah. Oh, kids, we're gonna go smoke.
And then you would like have that one relative, that one aunt, where if you visit her, all the curtains, the whole place just reeks of ashes, cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, you used to go to restaurants. God, we're dating ourselves. At least Kai and I. You used to go to restaurants, and the hostess would ask you smoking or non-smoking, and you would have to pick your section.
Oh, yeah.
There's an entire fucking segment of King of the Hill in the first season where they take up smoking again as a couple, and that's one of the things that happens in the episode. And like, I rewatched the series recently, and I just kept thinking, God, this is not a thing anymore at all. Not at all.
They should do that. They should do that, but with weed. At the airport, just have like a locked box where they can go in and they can smoke it up there, and then we can have like vacuums sucking out the air and big Febreze sprays just gassing them at all times.
I think that's a genuinely great idea.
Like a dishwasher thing.
They have that in Japan, actually. In a lot of office buildings, they have designated. They do, yeah. They're designated smoking rooms in Japan, and they have little vents that you literally dump your ashes and spew your smoke into. So the whole point is, if you're in a giant 80-floor mega skyscraper at work and you need to step out for a cigarette, you don't have to go all through the building outside, find a spot where it's allowed, because public smoking in Japan, I think, is illegal. Like, you can't smoke it on the sidewalk. So they've got
like little smoking rooms on the streets as well, I know.
Yeah.
Or like at train stations at least.
The train stations and public places and all that, but it's literally a glass box with little vents, and the point is that they smoke in those rooms, and then they exhale into the vents, and they have ashtrays and shit. Do it for weed. Make little weed clubhouses. Like, there you go. Problem solved.
I get that. That's something that really annoys me is when I go out to see like a movie with my dad, for example. He'll literally leave 3 times throughout the movie to go outside and smoke. I'm like, what?
Oh, it's like so annoying.
It is.
I know.
It's such a waste of a life, in my opinion, too. You
mean still?
Or? Yeah, still.
Wow.
Ugh, that is annoying. See, that's when it gets sad. Like, you can't even go 2 hours without going into your little into your drug box to put on a snorkel and smoke.
Jackson, for his birthday, you should build him a Japanese smoking glass box in the house so he can sit inside and smoke with you guys and hang out.
I've often fantasized.
Fumigate himself.
I've often fantasized about how I can possibly make smoking illegal, because they've tried it all over here. Make smoking not
so
cool
sad.
or whatever.
Is this your childhood?
Yeah, it was my childhood. A lot of begging. But no, seriously. Like, they've tried a lot over here. Like, I don't know if it's the same over in America, but like our cigarette boxes, like the boxes that the cigarettes come in, are just full of graphic pictures of like lung disease and people dying and stuff. Basically showing what will happen to your body if you do continue to smoke. It had no effect.
We don't have that here. We have just text warnings that are like, this causes cancer, don't buy it, and then everyone buys it. No, cares?
You should, Kaya, right now look up the Australian cigarette boxes. They're all mandated to look like this. Every single brand looks the exact same with the same horrifying
and all dictated
imaging.
to audio
I know what you're talking about. We have the same thing in Germany, where
Top
it's
left.
like rotting gums and eyes, and don't let children breathe your smoke. And it's a little girl lying in a hospital bed because her mom smoked, and now her lungs are dying.
I wish someone gave my dad that package before he locked me in the car with him smoking.
So this is for the audio listeners.
It's like wrong though.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you do it. You were on a roll, please.
Oh, it's just a rotting mouth with like pus in between the teeth, and they'll have the teeth missing, and there's blisters on the lips. And then the other one is an eye with like a little speculum prying it apart.
Smoking causes blindness.
I never heard that.
Yeah. Well, that's because the big cigarette companies pry your eyes open and gouge them out for smoking, I guess, because that picture doesn't make any sense
Joe
for
the cow.
Causing blindness. Then there's also this third one. It's really weird. It's got a happy little teddy bear in a meadow, and it says, actually, smoking isn't that bad after all. Is that a new one, Jackson?
Smoking's actually cool.
Smoking kind of rocks. Look at this dude, and it's a guy on a motorcycle jumping over a pit. Like, it's really cool, to be honest.
But see how much like any other product in the public that had this kind of imagery on it, no one would buy. But smoking, obviously, drug, does not matter how it's packaged.
I don't know, man.
If I saw brand name on it.
If I saw a horror movie at Walmart with those covers, I think people would buy it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like you don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
like, you could do the same thing with like fentanyl and show people just dying on the streets, but some people are still gonna do it.
I'm saying
for the average.
Fentanyl's not in grocery stores or whatever. It's not like
it's just in our hospitals,
Might be soon. I don't know. But I think this is wrong. Don't do the gross thing. Do this. You guys know that meme where like all the people at the party, all the girls are like looking like cringe. What did he just do? Ew. And then I should just say the words, your dick doesn't work. Ugh, how embarrassing.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that. I was thinking like, how can we package or how can we make cigarettes? Like, sure, everyone's going to smoke them. But how do we make them so unattractive that people don't want to smoke them? And the only thing that I was able to conclusively come to is if we like manufacture the cigarettes in the shape of a penis, so it looks like you're sucking on a little penis every single time you're smoking. It's going to be the only way to make it look that much like less cool. Like in the shape of a little penis.
Actually, I like that idea. That sucking dick isn't cool, Jackson? There's plenty of cool people who suck
No, I think
dick.
it's cool, but you don't want to go outside and like look like you're sucking on a little penis every single time.
So you can smoke. You can't smoke outside schools anymore. You become a sex offender.
Yeah.
You could make. You would have to make them a little like thicker, and maybe attach small balls to the end of it.
You should show balls. Your invention off, Jackson, to an investors meeting. We'll film a video of you sucking the cigarette to show, look, I don't like this at all. This sucks, but we need to do a lot of takes.
Look how gay I look.
Look how terrible this is. I have to get naked to really smoke efficiently. So here we go.
Got to practice on these penises first.
Yeah, you would have to have a law, though, to forbid people from rolling their own.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would defeat the entire thing you just said.
Well, yeah. No, you still got to make cigarettes available to people because, like, prohibition, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, right, at this point.
Yeah.
But you can still make manufacturing guidelines so that it's still available for the addicts who want them, but you've got to make it look as uncool as possible so that new people don't get on board. And hopefully a few of the addicts also think,
I don't know, man.
Putting a little penis in my mouth every day isn't worth it.
Smoking is just so cool, though. It's just
I know. Well, not if it's a little penis.
Goddamn cool.
Not if it's a little penis. That's what I'm saying.
I don't even think
make the aesthetic look less cool.
I don't look. All right, I'm watching an old school Wild West movie. I'm watching Clint Eastwood, and he's strolling up and down. He's strolling up and down the shanty town, and he's got a big penis cigar in his mouth. It's big and black and throbbing.
I didn't say big. I didn't say big.
Okay,
even though that wouldn't make it cooler.
He's got a cigarette penis in his mouth. If that man pulled it out and he said, "You got a problem with the way I smoke?" I'd still think he's badass as fuck. It's not going to do anything. I'm sorry. I'd still think it's cool.
Yeah, but not everyone's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, but smoking makes him look like Clint Eastwood. No,
it doesn't. I want people to have the same.
Look at that guy. You could put 10 dicks in his mouth and he'd still be cool. Come on. Fuck off.
I don't think Clint Eastwood would appreciate you saying that about him.
Well, I don't think he'd appreciate anything. The man's like 90 years old.
It's a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd take it as a compliment. I think he'd take it as Andrew coming onto him very aggressively.
Jackson, your logic here is destroyed because here's the fact. Here's the actual fact. If Clint Eastwood did the penis cigarettes and he looked directly at you or the camera or whatever and said, "Yeah, I'm gay and like sucking penis, what of it?" You would back down and cower and scream and cry. You would be so afraid of him. He would be cool forever.
Well, I don't have a problem with gay. What? I like gay people. I don't have any problem with gay people.
How does a dick make it look bad? What's the problem? What's wrong with
what are you fucking smoking? You're literally smoking pole at the moment.
Apparently.
If you go outside and put a little dick in your mouth, then you're going to look less cool, objectively.
That's not true. It depends on who put the dick in their mouth. Some people look great with a dick in their mouth. Look at the porn industry.
Oh my God, you're so porn brain.
About having dicks in their mouth.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
the
little
average
cigarettes.
Person. He's talking about his dad. With a dick in his mouth.
Yeah, I don't want my dad with a little cigarette dick in his mouth.
Yeah,
Andrew.
Really imagine it, Jackson. Your dad
Not
with
everything's
a big
sexy
penis cigar.
All right, it's becoming more funny now that I think about it.
All right, Jackson. Here's a hypothetical. Clint Eastwood is strolling through the cowboy town. He's mid-cowboy, prime peak Clint Eastwood, most badass in the world. And he walks up to you, and he's got a penis cigarette in his mouth. And he goes, "Here, Jackson, smoke one of these." Would you take it and smoke with him, or would you be like, "Oh, no, I can't"?
No, I wouldn't take a little penis and put it in my mouth to smoke.
You'd think you were so uncool, though. And he's like the master of cool calling you uncool. I feel like that would outweigh the penis in your mouth.
So you think that just through the raw act of cool people smoking these things, it would make it cool? Is that what your argument is?
Well, that's how things become cool, isn't it? When cool people do things, it makes them cool.
Yeah, but the things themselves have to be a little bit cool.
I don't think that's true. Look at 90s fashion, for example. 90s fashion was horrible and ugly and baggy clothes and awful colors and horrible shit. But it gained a traction of looking cool because like boy bands and shit wore it. It wasn't cool, but it became cool because of it.
Kaya,
you know what I mean?
What do you think? Are you on my side? Do you think that like there's no possible way that smoking little wiener cigarettes would be cool?
Oh, I think to the vast majority of the population, they would think it's not cool at all.
And
like
not cool.
Look at this from the perspective of the average, like, boomer dad, you know?
But regardless, not cool doesn't mean, like, disagreeing with the act of sucking dick. It's just like, why are you smoking on a little cigarette, like a penis cigarette right now outside in public?
But
it's like
I and my cool posse, me and Clint Eastwood, if you asked us that, I would just say, what's wrong with putting a little dick in my mouth? And it's like, how do you beat that? You can't argue against that.
Yeah, that's adding a behavior.
The difference is that if your dad was sucking on his little penis cigarettes and you went, Dad, why are you putting dick cigarettes in your mouth? He'd be like, go to your room. Don't talk to me like that. Whereas, like, if Clint Eastwood did it, he'd just be like, you got a problem with my cigarettes? Like, you're done. You can't outcool that. It's over.
Yeah, but the guy's like 1 in a million. The usual, like 999,000 times out of it, it's going to be some dude going, oh, fuck. Don't look.
I need it.
I'm not smoking
I just needed a smoke, man. They're gonna be embarrassed. Like, okay, to think back to high school, all those kids that would like peer pressure each other. Do you think they would peer pressure each other like the same amount if it was little dicks?
Exactly.
That they had to suck?
I guess I wasn't thinking about kids smoking cigarettes.
Well, that's what I said originally. That's what I said originally is that like it's got to stop people from getting on board. Like, sure, Clint Eastwood is still out there smoking little wieners, but like we got to stop the new audience from coming on board. And I think that'll stop it.
Yeah. Shame high school boys and then censor all cigarettes and media, like Photoshop them all into penises.
Ooh,
or like dildos
a good use of
something.
AI. There's an AI that just combs through the internet, replacing all images of cigarettes with little wieners.
And then for the sake of all good, we will have to round up people like Clint Eastwood and Mads Mikkelsen too. Somebody posted a photo of him smoking. We're going to have to round them up and just put them in like really shameful gay porn just to like discourage the whole, oh, this is your idol, this smoking little, I guess you like penises in your mouth, huh? And then all the kids will be like, no, I hate smoking. There.
Yeah.
So all we need is a dictatorship.
I just don't see how this would curb homosexual children smoking, because you go, oh, you like penises in your mouth? And they'd go, yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
Well, that is a smaller demographic, right?
So we start large to them, and work we have to make it smaller then. Okay.
To them, we have to just make it look straight. Like, they get access to the actual Clint Eastwood movies. Like, dude, you don't want to look how cool and straight he is.
We have to make vaginal shaped cigarettes and be like, you want a pussy in your mouth? And they're like, no, that's icky.
How would that work?
Well, because they're gay. They don't want pussy in their mouth.
No, I mean, how would it be
manufacturing wise? How would you make it?
That's up to Jackson. This is Jackson's idea.
This is not. You guys have taken this and run it in a very interesting direction.
I could just imagine.
Hey, this is what you wanted.
Clint Eastwood
I just want penises.
Yeah, see, you're running into all sorts of logistics problems, because let's say you do make the pussy cigarettes. Clint Eastwood's just going to go to the 7-Eleven and go, I'll have one of those pussy cigarettes, please. And it's like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is cooler than a regular cigarette.
No, it's not. It's not cool. I don't know what world you're living in, Andrew, but this is not cool.
A world where things are
Jackson,
fun.
What do you want then? You're not accepting any solutions. So kidnapping actors is off the table now?
No, I just think you're being insincere when you said no one would watch them have gay sex, because I know you would.
Me?
Yeah. Well, Kaya, if Mads Mikkelsen was in a gay porn, you would absolutely watch. You would watch Mads Mikkelsen in a gay porno. You know you would.
Yeah, you would.
Well, is he smoking in it?
Yeah, that's why it's so cool.
I mean, Hannibal basically was softcore gay porn, and I like that show.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's my yaoi.
That's a confession. Ape it, replay it.
What confession? I've said this like for the last 9 fucking years of this show. That show, Hannibal, is basically just yaoi. Still a good show. I don't know. I don't know if it can be done, Jackson. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not hiding anything. Just cigarettes cannot really be made lame unless.
Yes, they can by turning them into little wieners.
With them.
I just no.
I mean, we can try. Yeah, I'm down just for the funny factor.
Are they going to have balls or just funny. Be wieners?
Yeah, balls, little dangly balls.
That's going to be hard to do then. It's actually going to be
little
a lot of work.
Little dangly balls that slap on your chin every time you go to take a drag.
I'm down to.
What? How do you think people smoke? They deep throat it in and out really quick.
they gotta start. Yeah.
No, you just have to have like a new form of cigarette where somehow, like, the more you drag on it, the balls get closer to your chin.
Well, no, the balls are a little indicator of how deep you have to go.
Deep?
Yeah, do you deep throat your cigarettes? What?
I'm not a smoker. I don't know how to do it.
No shit.
I'm assuming it's going to tickle the back of your throat.
And I can't get over trying to make these uncool with this because I just imagine Clint Eastwood going, I smoke my cigarettes all the way to the balls. Like, it's cool. It's just cool.
Yeah, cigarettes are kind of, it's not, I disagree with Andrew that just like sucking on dicks is cool. I disagree, but cigarettes themselves are just, it cannot really be done.
Yeah.
Now, if it was weed, like if you permitted only the sale of like dildo-shaped bongs, yeah, that's really cringy. But then again, kids still do it. Isn't like Call of Duty or one of them games just full of like 420 references now?
Oh, yeah.
You can turn it into the cringiest shit and people will still do it.
Weed culture is much more culture. Like, cigarettes are just kind of there. It's like, oh yeah, smoke, okay, or don't, whatever. But weed has like all the things associated with it, like Doritos and bong art and psychedelic pictures and Rick and Morty. Like there are a lot of things like associated with weed, whereas I don't really know what you associate with smoking beyond taking a smoke break.
Lung cancer.
Well, yeah, and disease. Whereas with weed, it's like, dude, look, I got a tie-dye shirt on and I'm watching Rick and Morty. Like, those are weed culture things, you know?
Yeah, I prefer
they also can't be helped.
Mm-hmm. If you out there have a weed addiction, just imagine you're putting a penis in your mouth. It'll cure it immediately, allegedly.
No, I think I think that would work more for cigarettes. I think the whole weed stuff, it actually wouldn't work in that angle. I think, like, people who do weed, who smoke weed or use weed that regularly would probably find it funny, like Andrew would, or like I would.
They have no shame. I think. I mean, I agree with Jackson. It would work for cigarettes and alcohol. Like, if you forbade the whole madman drinking whiskey in a glass with like on the rocks. And instead they have to drink it out of a baby bottle or something. That would work.
Ooh, yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
Like a little teat on top. You know, like a little baby bottle. You got to suckle on that to get your alcohul. Yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore.
Kaya would do
Absolutely
that.
Absolutely not.
Kaya's laughing because he would do that.
Is that the barkeep? You're gonna suck on this? Yeah, here's your little baby bottle, little bitch.
Here's your whiskey on the rocks,
heat it up for
do
you.
Do you need to be burped or have me jingle my keys? Sir, your Don Perignon 1985, and shall I put Coco Melon on the television?
What if someone just posted a picture in chat. What if every time you bought or every time you smoked a cigarette, you had to at the same time visibly wear a diaper? Just something that uncool. Like, would Clint Eastwood be cool now if he was wearing a diaper on the outside?
You would be fucked because the industry would correct itself. They would make suit diapers that blend into nice suits, and you would just wear it on the outside of a suit.
No, you can't. No,
they have to be.
It has to be.
They have to be baby diapers with like dinos on them. Yeah, or like an adult baby diaper.
Then fucking the nice suit companies would put out commercials where it's like the new dinosaur collection from Calvin Klein. Like, they would find a way to make it work. They'd find a
diapers, way. Not just for babies.
Yeah, that really would happen. It really would. They'd be making commercials and shit.
Yeah, and then eventually, like, diapers would just become like general day-to-day attire for professional adults.
Well, let's go back to the litmus test. All right, barkeep, I'll have a whiskey on the rocks, and I brought my own diaper. See, it's still cool. It's so cool.
This dude smells like shit and cigarettes.
Ew. I don't think diapers can be cool. I'm sorry. Like, you're gonna sit there like a furry going crinkle, crinkle while you sip your drink out of a baby bottle.
And a little penis cigarette in your mouth.
All right.
Your mouth.
So let's extrapolate on this. So first of all, let's have a very important message from our sponsors.
Money is important. You need it for things. You need it to buy things, in fact. But managing money, it's hard. You have to make it work for you. But how? We recommend Acorns, not the nuts, the financial wellness app. It's one of the best ways to give your money the chance to grow. But how does it work? Well, you don't need to be an expert, that's for sure. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your specific money goals. Acorns makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich to do this. Acorns lets you get started with just the spare change that you've got in your pockets right now, for example. You just put it into the app and it gives your money the chance it needs to grow for you. I've tried it myself. It is really easy to use and you can simply just throw in whatever you've got, whatever change you have each week. I've tried it myself. It's a really easy app to use. They're very transparent. You see where your money is going basically and how it's being invested in your portfolio. So yeah, very transparent, very easy to use, highly recommend it. So for those reasons, that's why I highly recommend Acorns, because it's just the best way, or it gives your money the best chance to grow. So sign up now and join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/official or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC is an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/official. And now I'm going to send you guys over to Andrew.
It's FitBod time, and I'm saying the phrase FitBod not just to clue you in on the thing that you want and are going to try to obtain with what I'm telling you about. I am saying FitBod because it is the name of the app that's going to change how you work out. Look, stop thinking. Stop planning. Just do stuff. And FitBod is going to help you just do things better than ever, because it's going to give you a customized fitness routine that is sustainable. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of roads to getting in shape, and the only one that ever works and is the constant among all of them is that you stick with it. You get into a routine. You do it regularly. So don't do a whole bunch of number crunch and don't stress yourself out over what kind of routine and training regimen you need. FitBod will track everything for you. The workouts will adapt to your growth. They will track your muscle recovery. Their workouts have been fine-tuned by certified personal trainers, and they will make sure that with over 1,000 demonstration videos, you know what you're even doing when you get to the gym. I love FitBod the most because I can also customize it to my own personal preference. If I don't feel like doing a specific workout, it gives me options to substitute. And sometimes I just don't want to do deadlifts because they're dumb and I'd want to do something else, and FitBod understands that. Level up your workout. Join FitBod today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off your subscription or try the app free for 7 days at fitbod.me/official. That's fitbod.me/official. 25% off your subscription. Try it for free for 7 days. fitbod.me/official.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Second of all, let's extrapolate on this. Kaya, you drink alcohol for funsies. Jackson, you have a dad who smokes. If these laws were passed, alcohol requires a diaper. Cigarettes look like dicks. Do you think that you two would continue on? Kaya, would you put a diaper on in your home, have your little government webcam verify you're wearing it so you could have a drink every now and then?
No.
No? You think you would absolutely quit drinking?
We're also doing this in the home?
Yeah, everywhere. It's mandated by the government. You can't drink. I mean, you could break the law, but if they discover it,
yeah, it's part of needing to be over 21 to buy it. It's part of the laws. Everyone must wear the alcohol-rated diaper for drinking alcohol, and they have like a little
just like
sensor.
Cycling with a helmet on.
They have like a house arrest little sensor to prove that you're wearing it. You cannot have alcohol legally without that diaper. You could in your home, but if they catch you, you're going to jail for a long time.
Oh,
It doesn't sound worth it. No.
Wow.
They're just too embarrassing. I don't want to wear a diaper at 33.
Wow.
It's fine. I'll just have a tea.
I'm telling you.
I think I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum because I get to think, wow, I get to wear a free diaper and have a drink. Where's the lose? Where's the loss? It's win-win.
Wow, whoa. Who said the diaper is free?
Ah, fuck.
What, do you think FEMA is sending out diapers now?
I thought they were government mandated drinking diapers. Fuck.
No, they use diapers that you have to rent from the government. They wash them.
Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. That's very different.
Well, they wash them.
Oh. Yeah, like sanitary napkin. Okay, Andrew, you have to wear the diaper and also a bra and lipstick.
I'm really struggling to see where the downside is.
Yeah. This is getting better for him. You're just making it cooler for him. There's literally no...
Please, government Kaya, don't make me put on a wig and do a fun dance, too. That would be the worst. Oh, no.
No.
See, there's no making this uncool for Andrew because no matter what kind of porn fucked up thing we come up with, he's going to be like, yes, that's awesome.
The problem is that I find cool and uncool. I think uncool things are fun. Like, I don't know. I just like doing shit and not caring because we're all going to die. Who cares? I'd wear a diaper in a bar and do it as like a joke and film it for YouTube. I don't give a shit.
Okay, the only mixer allowed in the society now is poo water.
Oh boy. Okay. You know, you can keep your alcohol if it's poo water. I think I'm okay on that.
Yeah, why?
Well, because I don't want to drink feces. That's a little different.
Why? But it's so uncool.
Okay, because if I put on the diaper, do you want to know how that stops? I go, oh, I've taken off the diaper. I'm no longer wearing it. If I drink poo, it has to go through my system. It's done. The poo is in me. No more.
That's not very nihilistic of you. You're going to die one day, Andrew. You're going to die. Why not?
Jackson. Maybe I should just start destroying my house and burn it down with me inside me because nothing matters.
Well, that's what it sounds like when you're talking about wearing a diaper so you can drink alcohol just because you're going to die one day. It's the same concept to me.
I forgot that the road from not feeling public shame to complete and total self-destruction is just a single step away. I forgot they're the same exact thing. Completely true.
Well, we exist on different scales, yeah.
You guys zoom the camera out a little more, I guess. I'm a little stuck in my ways.
Okay, how about... No, that would never work.
What?
I saw a tweet that said something like, here's how we solve the fentanyl crisis. Sell it legally by the government, but one out of every 100 fentanyl packages is poison. And we print it clearly on the label. Like, could we do that with cigarettes? But I think it's so addictive, people would still do it.
Yeah. Well, what are the odds? 1 in 100?
Do you think fentanyl addicts can read? Like, if they could read, that would be the first question, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could use like emojis or something to convey the same idea.
A big skull and crossbones on the bad one.
Yeah. The big like XXX rat poison symbol or something.
Yeah. When you buy it from the dealer, an alarm goes off in his jacket. Just poisoned fentanyl purchased. Like, just so you really know.
No, I don't think that would work. Not with cigarettes. No. People would do it. What if 1 out of 100 cigarettes shrinks your penis by 1 inch?
Don't cigarettes already shrink your penis?
Yeah, I thought they have an effect on your penis.
Yeah.
Well, they give you impotence, but they don't shrink it. So you can still, if you're a shower, you can still be a shower. I don't think it like atrophies your penis, does it?
Mm.
I don't know. At some age, you start not caring about the size of your penis, though. That's like a very
that also doesn't affect half of the population who don't care. Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm a woman and my penis is shrinking. Who cares? Big whoop.
Yeah. Well, can't we just make it more poison? Like,
you just want to kill people.
Why don't we just poison Gotham's water supply and show the world that they never should have wronged me?
Let's just take your logic to the conclusion and say every person who smokes gets a bullet in their head because that's all you're doing. Like, that's all you want to do.
No, but it has to be slow, like a noose. Okay, how about peppers? Put a ghost pepper into every cigarette.
There we go. I like that.
You have to pepper spray yourself. Like, every time you inhale it, you're just coughing up and just not vomiting everywhere.
Or we get forced sterilization surgery for every smoker so they can't ever reproduce and have children. I think that's like the same logical step. It's like the same idea.
Smoker genocide.
Eugenics is the same as putting a pepper in it?
According to Jackson, who thinks that wearing a diaper in public is akin to burning your house down with you inside it.
When did I say that?
I don't think there's a smoking gene. Is smoking like recess? I guess there's an addiction thing.
Yeah, addiction
brain,
is definitely a gene for sure. Like, well, not a gene,
addictive
but like
tendencies, I would say.
Yeah, psychological traits passed down.
Hmm.
I like where this is going. So if we remove those people from the gene pool, okay,
that would include me, right? Well, that would include like almost everyone.
Okay. New idea. We flip the script and make cigarettes that taste really good. Like they're delicious and they're a pleasure to smoke. So all the smokers will be like, this isn't the cigarette I know. What the fuck is this? Oh, where's my chalky, tarry texture? What the fuck? I'm out of here.
That's just a vape.
Shit. Okay, hang on.
You just invented vapes.
Vaping is historically very cool.
Yeah. Oh, vaping. All right. Let's get on this high horse. Smoking is extremely cool. Weed can be cool. It depends on context. Like if you're no, you suck balls, Jackson. If you're a musician and you're flailing on a fucking guitar and you're doing a big solo and you take a hit of a joint mid solo, that's cool as shit. Come on.
No,
if you're a creative in a studio painting a masterpiece and you're like taking puffs out of a fucking joint or a
what
weed
the fuck
something,
about
that's
weed
awesome.
Makes that cooler than just the art itself or doing the art or anything like that?
It makes it cooler because it shows you don't care and you're relaxed and you're feeling the beat.
That's so fucking lame.
But if you vape, I don't think there's any way to ever be cool. I don't think you can ever vape in any cool context.
Why? If you're
whatsoever.
vaping, you're slamming on the guitar or whatever, you pull out a vape and you smoke it or whatever, you clearly don't care about what other people think. That should be cool to you, Andrew, using your logic.
No, because then that means that you're part of the subsect of people who like vaping. It's a different audience. You know what I mean? When you look at people who smoke cigarettes, the stereotype is a suave businessman in a suit or a cowboy or a badass gunslinger. When you look at the stereotype of weed people, it's one of two things. It's either dropouts and losers who sit around doing nothing, or it's creatives. It's day trippers. It's like the Beatles and you know, the 60s.
Day trippers?
Yeah, it's day trippers.
It's like vampires.
Oh, yeah, it's been around forever. But when you look at vaping, what's the stereotype for vaping? Fucking like fat Guy Fieri dudes. Like who else vapes? What other stereotype can you give vaping that's good?
To me, it all kind of sounds the same. Like, imagine Guy Fieri then taking a toke from his vape and blowing a fat cloud. Like, that's so creative.
Okay, let's do the Clint Eastwood test. Do you think Clint Eastwood would be cool if he sat for 5 seconds inhaling a fucking box and going, I just ripped a chunky cloud from my vape? That sounds stupid. That's not cool. It's dumb.
How's that dumber than I suck a dick?
You think that's less cool than sucking my little wieners, my little cigarette wieners?
Specifically little wieners.
I do, because when Kaya just did that, I was like, damn, Kaya, that's badass.
I think it's just like sucking dicks. I really don't see a difference with like vaping.
When Kaya just said that, I was like, holy shit, Kaya's cool as fuck. I admire the boldness if a man walked down the street and just went, I just sucked a dick. Like, I'd be like, whoa, we got a badass. But if a guy was walking down the street and he went, I just ripped a vape, I'd be like, I don't care. Go away. Shut up.
I will concede that vaping is definitely the lamest of them all. Maybe, it's kind of tied with weed. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it's tied for me.
I think weed still can find some coolness. It depends, but I definitely
again, it's like the cigarette thing. Yes, there's this idea that smoking cigarettes is really cool because of things like Don Draper and your cowboys and stuff. But in reality, 99 times out of 10, it's a fat dude
but it's
in a
still,
truck smoking.
That's fine, but it's still 1 time out of 100 cool, and that's my point. 1 time out of 100, smoking is cool. 1 time out of 100, weed is cool.
Yeah,
there are no times out of 100 that vaping is cool. Vaping is never cool, is my point. There's never a time it's been cool.
Yeah, I guess I can see the logic there.
Yeah, that's my point. That's all.
Yeah, he's right. There's no possible like scenario where vaping is cool. I don't see
let's do a coolness test. You got John Hamm, actor who plays Don Draper. He's doing an interview. And mid-interview, he pulls out a cigarette. Everyone would be like, damn, he's so cool. He's just relaxing. He's so manly. Mid-interview, he pulls out a joint. It'd be like, whoa, he's smoking weed during an interview? Damn, okay. But if Don Draper, John Hamm, during an interview pulls out a vape, everyone would be like, oh, I thought he was cool. What the fuck? That's so stupid.
What is it about vapes that actually makes them lame? Which I agree, but like, what is it? Because I cannot put my finger on it. Is it that it's an electronic device?
No, it's the pathetic desire to move away from cool cigarettes. It's like desperate.
Honestly, maybe, yeah. Because
no, I think it is. It's like desperate.
It might be the.
It makes you look like
an
addict.
Yeah,
it makes you look like an addict because you're you're visibly desperately needing a cigarette, but you're too scared to do a cigarette or smoke a cigarette, I guess. So you're moving away from that. So you look like an addict, but without the cool factor of actually smoking cigarettes or doing the drug that you want to do. So
I think a part that hurts the vape as well is they also like the action of it is lame. Like when you pull out a cigarette or a joint, you inhale it, you pull it in, you breathe it in, you exhale it, you kind of like, there's like a motion to it, like a flow. Whereas with vaping, you pull out a dumb little box, hold it in your mouth, and just kind of suck on it like a silly straw.
Well, there we go. Actually, using a vape actually does look like you're smoking or sucking a little wiener.
Yeah.
Like that's probably why it's uncool.
Yeah.
So my logic is correct. Whoa. If we made cigarettes look like you're smoking or sucking a little wiener, then it's the same concept.
Wait, no, we found it. Yeah. We found the yellow brick road to complete and utter quitting. Jackson, make all weed and cigarettes look like vapes. Then no one will do it.
Actually, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, that just leaves vapes, really. I mean,
no one likes vapes. No one likes vapes. There's sometimes cool cigarettes, there's sometimes cool weed, but there's never cool vapes. It would kill off all of it.
Someone posted in our Discord chat, which you can join by going to official.man, there's pictures of vapes with little penises on top of them.
They're really cute, too.
You could put those on cigarettes for like a filter. Or something.
Yeah, well, this is exactly what I was imagining cigarettes would look like, just the top half, little plastic penises that you put in your mouth.
Well, they already make it, and people are still buying it, Jackson.
Who's buying these? Like, I think these are just gag gifts, surely. Yeah.
Women who want dick vapes?
No.
I think you're discounting women. I think you're discounting the entire population that wouldn't care if there was a dick in their mouth, or gay men.
I guarantee you most women would care about walking around with a penis in their mouth. But every woman is a degenerate porn whore.
I don't know, man. If you go to Spencer's Gifts, they make penis-shaped pasta and silly straws for bachelorette parties.
As gag gifts, yes, as gag. Yeah, we're talking about everyday life.
Those aren't for that's for your 40-year-old wine mom. Or wine aunt.
Yeah, for an event like a hen's night or whatever. Not not everyday use. Not going to the supermarket and pulling out this and smoking on it.
Okay, we have to distill vaping into other drugs.
Okay, so we have to make fentanyl only done through vaping, basically.
I'm sure that's a thing. Wait, how do you take fentanyl? Is it through your veins?
Think that's a good.
Can we have dick syringes?
Let me Google where to get fentanyl near me and how to take it to be sure.
Well, we can make penis syringes, right?
Apparently, fentanyl is inhaled or ingested orally and can also be exposed through the skin.
Okay, so you can take it anyway, really.
Yeah, get it in your body however you want. Really. It don't matter.
No, penis vape.
A vape for your penis, you say?
Yeah, right. I don't know how to fix this.
That was a good hour-long discussion about
I'm fine with
cigarettes and how to make them less cool.
I did not think that discussion would go so fucking long.
Yeah, neither.
It's crazy.
I'm reading guides on how to do fentanyl.
You need a guide?
Oh, whoops. This is a fentanyl testing kit. Oopsie. Never mind. It literally is giving me instructions like, crush this substance into a fine powder, inject into syringe, blah, blah, blah. It turns out it's to put it into a testing strip so you can test if people are on fentanyl. Oh, well.
Can't you usually tell pretty easily people are on fentanyl?
Yeah, I just ask if they're on fentanyl and they always tell me the truth.
They always rob you.
If I don't have my wallet by the time I'm done talking with them, I know they were on fentanyl.
All right, Kyle. I sent you, or I think I sent it into the group chat yesterday, a picture from Statista.com, if you would like to talk about that.
Yeah, let me try to pull it up real quick while we talk about it. It's a graph about, I guess they polled a bunch of men and asked, what animal could you beat up?
It really opened my eyes to how wimpy the average man is, I guess.
I don't know if it's men. It doesn't say men, it just says adults, so probably 50-50.
Could be, which animal could you beat in a fight? Which of the following animals, if any, do you think you could beat in a fight if you were unarmed? And, this is between Brits and Americans.
Yeah.
And across the board, Americans think they could beat up animals way better than Brits.
Which shows the level of confidence. But does that show the level of confidence on the part of America or the wimpiness of the British in comparison?
Both. Do you see us getting recolonized? I don't think so. Fucking wimps.
There is like 70% of people, I guess, think they could not beat a rat.
In a fist fight?
No, it's the other way around. They think they could.
3 out of 10 people.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, 70% think they could beat one up, which leaves like 30% who think they would get their ass whooped by a little rat.
Yeah, this is what's confusing to me, right? I don't know how you would get beaten up in a fight by a rat. I don't even think that's possible. Like,
it would nab at you and stuff and bite you and maybe give you disease, but you're not gonna die of the disease during a fight.
Well, what I find funny
from the fight.
What I find funny is the next one right after that is house cat, and even less people think they could beat a house cat. I think I could beat a house cat easier than a rat. Like a rat is going to be a filthy, disease-infected, flailing little tenacious fuck, whereas house cats they'll fight you even when they're your pet. House cats just like the limit of a cat is much shorter than a rat in my mind.
The question is, which animals could you beat in a fight? Which of the following animals, if any, do you think you could beat in a fight if you were unarmed?
I could beat both easily, but I think I'd have an easier time beating the house cat than the rat, because I feel like the rat is going to be way more slimy and flailing around and fucking insano. And also, they got big goddamn teeth. They've got huge fucking garbage ripping chompers. Whereas a house cat, I've been bitten by house cats. Yeah, it hurts, but who cares? That's their only move. Now you're done. Time's up,
had to
big
deal
boy.
with a crazy cat. It is very annoying.
Yeah.
They have claws too, you know.
True.
Every cornered animal will fuck you up a little bit, to be honest. Goose is next. I never fell for this meme. I don't know who is out there thinking that little geese are like super scary.
Not little geese. Have you full size
geese get big, dude? They get the size of children.
They're pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could beat up a child.
Yeah, I still think you could beat up a goose.
Easy. Like, grab a goose by the neck. Their neck is huge and it's an easy target.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. Like, whenever somebody says, dude, geese will fuck you up, under like a video of a goose chasing a man, it's like, that's not a fight. It's just a guy running from the goose, because it's basically like, you don't want to hurt the animal. You just want to get away from it. It's a goose.
I still think it would do some damage. I still think, if
chop at your finger, but I mean,
if you go in commando and you like sneak up behind it and snap its neck or whatever, yes. But we're talking about full on like a fight. You're in a boxing ring, both of you. I still think you're going to get damaged in the process. Like, yes, you'll win.
Damaged, sure. It'll give you bite marks here and there, but it's like a couple of seconds until you can grab it by its gigantic neck or long neck and.
There is a severe difference between losing the fight and coming out hurt. Like, most of these animals will hurt me. Yeah, the cat's going to bite me. Yeah. But I don't think I would ever die to the cat or lose, you know.
But 30% of people do think that they will lose to a rat, which is just
Did
wild
they
to me.
Interview people in a hospital by chance? Perhaps a paraplegic ward.
In the rat ward, yeah.
Yeah, like this is pathetic, man. I can't believe this many people think they would lose to a fucking cat in a fight.
Yeah, 3 out of 10 people.
I might, just from like an emotional perspective, like, I can't do it.
See, I'm going in full bloodlust. I'm going in full bloodlust. I want that animal dead. I truly have no feelings for it. I need it unalived immediately. That's my thought in all these fights.
How would you walk away from a fight with a rat or a cat, like with a bruised eye and I'm so sorry? Like a walk of shame.
It came to this. I can't believe it came to this.
He used to be such a nice cat.
I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Medium-sized dog is next.
Obviously, I couldn't hurt a cat, but the question is not like, do you think you could do it? It's like, which one? Like, do you think if you were already in the fight, do you think you would be able to beat them?
I've been injected with the rage virus. I feel no remorse towards this animal. It's like going down.
Self-defense. They started it. They started it.
It's a cat home invasion.
They replaced my cigarettes with little penises, and that was when I knew they had to go down.
Step too far.
Yeah. Medium-sized dog. I can see some people.
I still don't see how 30% of people pass. Like, say they can't beat a rat. You just step on it. You can accidentally kill a rat.
I'm sure that happens a lot, actually. Yeah.
Yes. Like
rats are part of those species where it's like rabbits and bugs, where it's like they just know that most of them are not going to survive. You know?
Aww.
Yeah, they're usually
they can be cute as pets.
Oh, rats can be great. Oh yeah, I had a friend who had pet rats. They were great. They were super cute.
Yeah, I love rats. But even like water rats, like the big ones. If you just step on it,
look,
it's probably going to beat it.
The biggest rat in the world is the capybara, and I've seen a capybara. You could kill that. You could easily kill that thing. That thing is going to basically just run, maybe bite back a little bit. It's the size of a medium dog. You could easily kill a capybara. So even if we're talking the biggest, endest of all rats, you could easily kill it. So there's no rat that should warrant these scores.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, yeah.
You're welcome, Jackson.
Speaking of medium-sized dogs, between 40 and 50% of people think they can beat a medium-sized dog, which kind of sounds right.
Yeah, I think a good number of people would lose. Yeah, I think a good number of people would lose to medium-sized dogs. There's some nasty ones out there.
I'm assuming medium-sized dog
bite on you.
Yeah.
What would a medium-sized dog be? Like a Boston Terrier? Like one of those kind
probably
of
like
golden
a
retriever?
Golden retriever, a poodle, a husky, dogs like that.
Those are medium? What's large then?
Large to me is like
like
Malamute,
Turkish Kangal.
Great Dane, Rottweiler, Pit Bull, kind of dogs like that. I would say are
they
large.
The same size as like golden retrievers though?
I think they're a little bigger, depending.
I think they're the same size, roughly.
Like these things would fuck you up.
Yeah, that one.
And there's like a breed of dog aside from this one that can literally go up 1-to-1 with a wolf, which is fucked up. And look at these things; they're basically. Like bears.
That's a wolf.
That's a large.
No,
dog.
wolves are fucking enormous. I always forget how large wolves are.
Large dog, people think only, 15 to like 25% of people think.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Eagle.
I think that's.
I like how they threw an eagle here.
Yeah, so one step at a time. Yeah, an eagle, guys, you would beat an eagle in a fight. Come on, an eagle's not going to beat you. What the fuck?
How big is it?
But it has the advantage of flight.
So
it's got infinite reach,
gouging your eyes.
It has to swoop in to attack you, and if you grab it, it's dead. Done. Grab it once. It's
You're not
over.
gonna have. Okay, look at this thing though. Like,
it's big.
If this thing gets a good claw in your eye, you're fucked.
Because speed, and they're also smart. They've got battle tactics. They hunt for fun.
Maybe. I could see.
I mean, okay, Andrew, look at the size of this particular eagle and the lady next to it. That thing could totally beat the shit out of her.
Having been in fights with birds before in my life, like magpies and stuff, which are much smaller than eagles, it's absolutely way more difficult than I think you're making it sound, Andrew. I would rather take the dog.
I'll give it to it. It depends on the eagle. I could see some eagles winning. I could see some eagles not winning. I think it would depend on the eagle.
Yeah, the size. Like, look at it. I mean, for the people at home, it's not like a pigeon. The eagle. No. This thing is the size of a medium dog, I would say.
Yes, and those beaks, those beaks look, they don't look that imposing, but I've been attacked. Well, I've had beak attacks by like parrots by much smaller than that, and they do like a substantial amount of damage. That guy is wearing enormous leather gloves for a reason. Like, they can do a lot of damage.
Good point. I like, how are you gonna grab the thing? Even the people that know how to handle them have to wear like chainmail fucking gloves just so they don't get their arms sliced off by this thing.
Yeah, I don't need those gloves whenever I'm patting my dog. So
but see again, it depends on the eagle, because if we look at a bald eagle or a golden eagle or an osprey, yeah, there's a good chance that'll win. But like, get me a peregrine falcon.
Yeah,
they're like a little smaller than your arm. You know, like you could easily beat that in a fight. You know,
I think when they refer to eagle, they're referring to these ones, though, like big ones.
Yeah. Like what? Whoops. Next, we did large dog, chimpanzee. Even fewer people think they can beat up a chimpanzee,
which is 100% true. Chimpanzees, right. We talked about this on the show. Chimpanzees will kill you, and they will do it for fun. They are very This list should be so much lower. It's like, what is it? Roughly like 15% of people think they can beat a chimp. That is objectively wrong. If the chimp wants you dead, you are dead. No way. Sorry. Done.
Yeah. Chimpanzee.
King Cobra.
King Cobra should be much higher.
That I absolutely think I could beat in a fight, because if you just get a long stick, what's it going to do? How's it going to get to you?
No, you have to be unarmed. You have to be unarmed. It's specified unarmed.
Oh, it is unarmed. Yeah. Ooh, that's a little different. Ooh, boy.
Well, no, I still think it's just the size and the vulnerability of it. Like, step on it and it's dead, pretty much. Like,
but if it bites you, you're going to die of venom. That's the problem.
But you still beat it in a fight. Like, yes, the rat could bite you and you die from like blood poisoning later on, but we're not counting that.
I've seen way too many people like catch these on National Geographic to take them too seriously. Which makes me a dumbass, and I would die. But you know, Steve Irving, if we could bring him back from heaven and unleash him.
It's very dependent on positioning. If you get behind it and can grab the back of its head, you win. If you grab a snake by the back of its head, it has nothing you can do. You could just slam that thing against the ground forever. It's dead. But if it knows you're there and it's like waiting to strike, how do you get?
Well, wait,
the only way involves sneaking.
Yeah, the only way it wins though is really through its venom, and that. So I think I could beat it in a fight before the venom takes hold of me and kills me. So I still
wouldn't
win.
that be a stalemate then?
Well, how fast does it act?
No, I don't think so.
Whoops.
Because we're just talking about an unarmed fight. We're just fighting using our bodies.
Man, that sucks. I'm trying so hard to come up with the strategy to get the cobra. You just have to grab behind it and you win. But it's like, if it knows you're there, it's all coiled up, it's ready to fucking kill you. Like, what do you do? How do you move in? How do you advance?
But yeah, you have to sneak up on it. You have to grab it by the tail and just throw it into a tree.
Yeah, honestly.
Next is kangaroo. That one's been kind of done to death.
Jackson, go ahead. Jackson, all yours.
You're not beating a kangaroo in a fight.
If it wants fighting them mostly to
if we're talking about a large male red kangaroo, they're quite large, first of all. And also, it's not so much the goofy punching that they do, which is more of a territorial thing. If they want to kill you in a fight, they will literally disembowel you with those feet, those giant claws.
Yeah, that's true.
They will disembowel you if they're intending to kill. So yeah.
Isn't there a video of a guy running up to one of these things and just punching them in the fucking head?
Yeah.
And I think the kangaroo backs off, so maybe they're strong, but I don't think they're like brave enough.
Yeah, no, I don't think they don't fight to the death against people traditionally. But if they did, if we're talking about like a boxing match, I think your odds are probably not great against a kangaroo.
Yeah. Okay, so this next one is super delusional, wolf. And almost like what 15% of people said they could take one.
No.
Probably not.
Not even remotely.
Probably not. Yeah.
No, not even close. That is delusional. Yeah. That's insane.
Wolves
That's like a bigger pit bull, basically.
Yeah.
they're so big. Again, look up an Arctic wolf compared to a human. They they almost tower over us, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly.
Probably. I mean, they're pretty
maybe
it depends on the race,
wolf.
I guess.
Well, I've seen Game of Thrones, and that wolf that ate Jon Snow had was really big, you know?
I've seen some big wolves.
Yeah, me too. Depends on the wolf.
It really does. If we're looking at like the largest species of wolf, which I believe is a Mackenzie Valley wolf, those are like, if they stood on their hind legs, they're like a person and a half tall. But at the same time, there's other species of wolf that are like the sizes of foxes, and I think those would be pretty easy to kill, you know?
Yeah, like this thing. I'm looking at a photo of a wolf with like 3 times the size of skull as the human next to him. That thing could fit your whole head in its jaw.
The problem with
So
this
fucking
list is they don't
terrifying.
specify species because, like, there's a big difference between types of wolves. You know what I mean?
Well, let's just assume the biggest, toughest one, which
Fair.
not even
Yeah,
close.
totally
They
fair.
send out their champion. Wait,
Yeah,
do we get to send out our champion as well? Like we get to send out
Dwayne
like
The Rock
McGregor?
Johnson goes out and starts pounding his fist into the wolf's face. That'd be
He's
cool.
he's all image. He's all image. I think.
All right,
don't
who's
No,
our
not
champion?
Conor
Who's our human
McGregor. Get
champion?
the mountain. We get him.
Ooh,
in his
the
prime.
mountain from Game of Thrones guy. Yeah, that's our champion. Fuck yeah. Thor
Okay.
Bjornsson.
Okay, maybe he might have a shot. But I mean, this list
I don't
has.
even think that.
Could you beat it in a fight? And the answer
Well, did
is
they
no.
interview him? Is he part of the poll? Because he would have said yes to every animal they could have ever thought of.
He's throwing out the.
He's picking up elephants with one hand and throwing them across the river.
Okay.
Next one is
So-
crocodile,
No.
which are scary, but
No.
yeah, I
You're
also don't
the
think
actual
so.
morons. Even if you get the advantage on the crocodile, let's say they're very stationary, right? They don't move a lot. Let's say you sneak up behind it, you get on top, you're trying to do whatever you are to kill it. The problem is they are tanks. They are heavy as fuck. They are hard to move. They are
Yeah, how are
covered
you
in
beating it?
scales, which are like armor.
Yeah, how are you
they are
beating it?
massive as fuck. They have tons of teeth. Their jaw force is unreal. No way. No, you cannot beat a crocodile in a fight at all.
Do these people
Never.
think that you can just punch these animals a lot and it's just you're gonna win the fight that way? Like,
I
how do you
guess.
beat a
I
crocodile?
don't know.
Do you stand on it until eventually it starves to death? Like, what's your plan, man? No way.
Yeah, I don't understand even the logic behind this. It looks like
They
about
also
2%
run.
of people, 2% of British people think that they can beat a crocodile.
No.
10% of Americans, so 1 in 10, which is like
no.
that's way too much.
They also run fast as fuck. They don't often use their energy, but when they do, they can sprint. Like, you don't fuck with them. They will kill you instantly.
Captain Cheese said Steve Irwin hunted crocodiles barehanded for a gag. He caught crocodiles. That's completely different.
Very
We're talking
different than
about
pissing.
going in for a fight.
There is a big difference
Yeah.
between understanding the animal, studying it, and wrangling it versus challenging it to a fight to the death where it's
Yes.
pissed off and wants to kill you. Very
That
different.
makes the
You're in
opposite
a
of your
boxing
point.
ring.
Steve Irwin's whole thing was that he would prove to the crocodile that he is not a danger. Like, I'm not hurting you, just let me
Exactly.
sit on you. If you
There
try
is
to punch that thing in the back of the head, it's gonna get pretty pissed real fast.
There is a video of a dude who runs a crocodile alligator farm, and he's in the pool with one of them, and it's just floating around ignoring him. And he goes, "The only reason I am in this pool right now is because I know this alligator has already been fed. If it hadn't been,
Yeah.
it would have been very dangerous."
Yeah. for sure.
Like,
Or up
no
next
way.
is today's-
A fight is very different.
people die here often in my state in Australia from crocodiles. Like they are an enormous threat.
Yeah, no way. 0%.
Okay, next is gorilla, which the internet has been
0%.
aflame. I'm sure you've all seen, where
0%.
somebody said that one gorilla versus 100 men who would win, and it's been a whole discussion on social
It
media
has.
for like a day and a half.
So, well, let's use that to dispel this part immediately. One person is not beating a gorilla. No way. No. I don't care how
No,
strong
not
you are.
one
The gorilla
person.
will kill you. Absolutely.
Easily. The gorilla will
Easily.
easily
100
kill
the
you.
mountains.
Easily.
100 the mountains. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I think if I'm gonna actually put a number on it, I think maybe like 10 people.
So I actually talked about this with a group of friends recently, and my strategy, if I had 100 people, was to make 10 of them children and have 10 of the men grab them by the ankles and swing them around like clubs at the gorilla. And I think with that, you
You
would
could
only
go
need
those
20
records.
people to really easily beat the gorilla.
Yeah.
You could also
okay, I
fight
guess.
dirty and go for its balls and eyes and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. Everybody seems to think that they are super strong, but they're also not literally the Hulk. You know, I think 100 men. Eventually, the gorilla is
Oh,
going to
easy.
run out of steam.
Easy.
Like it's not going to fight for 48 hours straight. You know.
Even if the
No,
gorilla kills
no.
the first 10 men, it's going to be out of gas after that, and the rest are just going to kill it
think-
easily.
I think 20. I think you can do it with 20. Like if you're all going
Yeah.
in at the same time, kind
I
of 20
agree.
is more than enough. You've got teamwork.
There's
hold it down.
there is a sliding scale of men to gorilla. 1 man to gorilla, the man loses. 2 men to gorilla, the men probably lose. 3 men probably lose. 4 most likely, but then 5, it's like, well, it depends on the men. 6 depends on the blah, blah, blah. Once you
Well,
hit about,
I don't
like, I
know.
would say 12, 13, 14 men, the gorilla stands no chance. There's no way. Utterly no way.
Yeah, there's like a ratio of getting pooped out. It's gonna get tuckered out. Instead of the children, you could have like marathon runners and have them run around them to distract them and have them chase them a bit. But I don't know what's a gorilla stamina like.
Purely, it's not even stamina really. Like it's just raw numbers. Like you said, distraction. Like you have 3 people in front distracting from the front, and then like 7 people from the back working from behind.
Even if all 100 men just jump on top of the gorilla and dogpile it, it's not strong enough to lift all of those men off of it. If each man weighs what,
like the
200
Matrix
pounds? Yeah, like the Neo Agent Smith fight. Yeah. But think about it. Take an average man who weighs about 200 pounds. If they all jump on top of it, that's what, 2,000 pounds? No, more. That's 20,000
But are we going to be there in one big pile just waiting for it to starve to death?
Yeah, you suffocate it. You're smothering it to death. It'll die.
That would also, everybody at the bottom would also suffocate, I think.
I think it's foolproof if you have 100 men. If they all weigh 200 pounds, 200, that's 20. I'm doing my math so wrong. That's 20,000 pounds with 100, of force. Yeah,
again, if you had a bunch of strong men who, like, one of them jumps at one arm and the other jumps at one of his legs, and the third guy jumps at the legs, eventually, the thing can kick and scream and kill a bunch of people, but eventually it'll have to tucker itself out.
Again, I think like 20 is easy. 20, I think you would be pretty easily able to do it.
I agree. I totally agree.
Sure, some people would die, but like you would be able to beat it, I think.
But getting back to the main point of all of this, one person is never beating a capable gorilla. If you're rigging the field and going, yeah, I'll fight a newborn baby gorilla. Okay, congrats. Yes, you would win. But if we're talking standard gorilla, no. 0% chance you would beat it. Fuck off.
Up next, lion. It's the same number, I think, looks like. 8% of Americans think they could beat a lion.
I think you have a better chance against a lion than a gorilla.
Fully agree, because a gorilla is so goddamn strong and pissed off and berserker, whereas with a lion, I feel like, and I forgot where I saw this, but if you can jam your hand down its throat, it's pretty incapacitating. Yeah.
No. Well, that's one of those myths, like in a shark attack, put your thumb up their buttholes and they'll leave you alone or something. Like, that's not gonna work. It's
they breathe through their buttholes
too. Like, the thing also has claws. If you have your arm down its throat, all it has to do is like use its claws on you.
What would be the logic?
It's like 100 times bigger cat.
Stick a finger in its arsehole, it breathes from there, so it'll suffocate.
Kick its balls when it's on top of you, mauling you to death.
I mean, so I think if it is against a shark, if you do put your like hands in its gills, I think that does cause them to die.
Don't they have like 2 sets of like on both sides?
Yeah, you would have to do it from both sides, I think, probably.
But they have multiple gill holes. Like, how many arms do you have to stick in there?
Well, just use all 8
I don't
of your
know if this
arms,
is accurate advice, but I think it was advice that if you are in a shark attack, you need to jam it in its gills because it's the only thing that'll get it to flee.
The common sensibility
it might not kill it, but it'll get it to flee.
The common sensibility is if you're attacked by a predatory animal, you attack every soft spot you can to get it to hate that so that it stops. If like a shark, a crocodile, a lion, and anything, a tiger is attacking you, you go for its eyes, its throat, its balls, anything you can so it gets so pissed off at trying to kill you, it stops. That's really your only survival.
Same with people.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not really pissed off. That's like grossed out by you. Like, why are you fingering my gills? Then I guess. I don't know. Don't take this as medical advice. Don't fight sharks.
Survival.
There's a kinky lion out there that attacks people purely to get stuff jammed in its asshole, and it likes it.
Name is Andrew.
How did you know?
Up next, elephants. I don't even know how that would be possible, but I do like that.
What?
Are you fucking kidding?
The British people have, like, since the gorilla dropped down to 0%, but the Americans are still holding the line,
10%.
thinking that like 7% of Americans still think they can beat the shit out of an elephant.
Hi there, fellow American here. I just need to remind you all, elephants used to be literal tanks of war back in the day. They used to literally be what we would ride into battle because they were so fucking unkillable. Get your head out of your ass. You're not beating an elephant.
This is why Americans have the reputation. The reputation of
I know, it's kind of
arrogant
endearing,
confidence.
Like, how would you beat it? do you climb it? And
there's a big difference if it's armed. If you have a gun or a rocket launcher or whatever, I could understand people being like, yeah, I could kill it. But unarmed is what they specified in this question. Yeah. You're not winning.
I don't think they would
If you are unarmed, you are dead.
No, if you went up and punched it in its foot, it would be like a fly, impacting us, basically. It would be so insignificant to them.
You could be really mean and just play really dirty and like climb it all friendly like, because elephants kind of are docile and nice, and then slowly crawl up over their heads and like gouge both eyes out and jump off and then just wait for it to, I don't know, get an infection or bleed out.
No, but
but then you have to get away from it while it's stampeding, and God help you with that, because if you're on top of it, you're also jumping down a pretty good height, you know?
Not just that, like, I don't think it's going to just let you climb on it.
Well, if you're nice and you have like
if it's a fight,
relatively docile, it's a fight.
The problem with this quiz is there's a lot of circumstances we don't know. Like, does the animal want to kill you? Is it an official fight? Are you just put in a room with it and told to kill it? Is it a fight to the death? Like, what are the circumstances?
He's wearing boxing shorts. I assume the animal is assumed to be like angry and pissed off at you.
Then yeah,
like
you're dead.
Or do you walk up to it in savannah and literally start a fight, like a fucking drunk bar fight? Oh, what do you say about me?
Yeah.
Hey, you big gray motherfucker.
Are you looking at me?
Like, who are you looking at?
You bitch. Why don't you go back to the circus, you long-nosed freak? Yeah, you're not beating an elephant. These people are insane.
All right, and then the next one is grizzly bear, which is no shot.
Reality.
Okay, let me go ahead.
Reality.
Let me remind you of the little colloquialism when it comes to bears, everyone, to tell you about your chances. If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lie down. If it's white, good night. So there's a reason that when you meet a grizzly bear in the woods, all safety advice is play dead and don't do anything, because you're not going to win. It's going to kill you.
Look at it. It's enormous, and it's pure, like,
pissed off.
Unadulterated strength. Yeah.
Ugh.
Plus,
No
I want to go back to that, the black bear thing. The advice to fight back is because it'll scare them, not because they can't kill you as well.
Black bears and brown bears are very different animals. Black bears are like preyed upon a bit. They get scared, they run away, they scavenge.
More timid.
Brown bears don't give a fuck. Brown bears are protective and territorial and will just do their own thing, and that's why you play dead, because they'll look at you and go, oh, it's just a dead animal, I don't care, I'm going to move on. Polar bears, though, live in a harsh Arctic environment with almost no food and nothing preying on them. So if you see a polar bear, they will just kill you. Like, you can't do anything. You were just flat out dead. Fully dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think it's I think you don't even have really good chances against a black bear, honestly, if you're in a 1v1 fight and that thing is showing up to fight.
Black bears are considerably smaller as well, as the other thing. Black bears aren't that big compared to a human.
I think it's. Can we go back to the list? I think it's definitely higher. The chances of beating a black bear are probably up near, just under kangaroo, I'd say. Maybe under wolf, actually.
No, I'd much rather fight a black bear than a wolf. I feel like you could take a black wolf.
Yeah, but what if it's like cornered? You guys are just banking on it running from you.
No,
I guess technically that is winning the fight.
No, I'm talking about 1v1 fight. I think it's still probably preferable over a wolf.
Because the difference is, like, a wolf.
Still big.
Well, the difference is black bears have scavenging tendencies. If they are trying to fight you, they're just going to kind of be like dopey little morons doing whatever. Like, whereas a wolf is explicitly trained from birth to go for things' necks and snap them with its mouth. You know, like, you're fucked.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't punch either of these. I think I would just go you win.
Bears are so cute.
I don't know what Americans are thinking. I feel like maybe the Americans are doing the whole, like, I would whip out my concealed carry and just shoot the bear thing, and they'd completely forgot about the unarmed parts.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the fact that you can shoot bears and they won't even care because they're so big. You got to get fucking bear guns, bear mace.
Doesn't the Constitution say you have the right to bear arms? So maybe they actually do think it is just like that counts.
God, I hate you.
Such a corny, played out game on you.
Yeah.
Well, that was the animal list. What else is there? I guess sharks. Oh, what about a rhino?
Probably lower than elephant, but still up there.
It'd be the same as elephant for me.
Give or take, yeah. I mean, you're not going to beat an elephant.
Aren't they more aggressive?
Or a rhino. I think they're about equal.
Doesn't matter. We're talking about a 1v1 fight. All of these animals, all these these ones are basically the same percentage chance. Like same as hippo.
Oh, hippo's at the bottom, dude. Hippos.
Oh, no, they're all at 0%. They're all at 0%.
Yeah. Nah, hippos kill people for fun.
Different rates of it. Like, okay, how many people rated like that? How many people per animal? Like Andrew said, there is a scale, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, there was only 3,000 people surveyed, so it's not that big of a survey.
No, but now I'm trying to think. Like, okay, you guys said 20 people for the gorilla. How many people for the elephants? Because like even with 20 guys, what do you punch?
No.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Good question.
Elephant would have to be up near 100, I would say.
You would have to like jump on each other's shoulders to punch the elephant in the face or something. I don't know, or like try to climb up the trunk like a rope.
I don't think it's possible to just punch these to death.
People were not built for fucking raw combat. There's a reason we're smart and dexterous. It's because we learned to pick up a rock and throw it. And there's entire studies on how literally one of the things that broke us as a civilization and made us dominant over everything is the fact we literally just pick up rocks and throw them and make sticks and get
use
infinite
tools
range.
and guns.
Yeah. And that's the point. You know, can we barehandedly beat an elephant? Probably never. But if we had spears, we do it all the time. We used to hunt mammoths. We've done that shit all the time.
How far we've fallen.
No spears.
Yeah. Now we just do their stock portfolio. We're boring.
Yeah, smoke little penis cigarettes.
Yeah. You see that elephant over there? I'm going to kick its ass. See, that would be cool. It's so cool. Everything he says is cool.
All right. You guys want to wrap? I think Jackson said he has to go soon.
Well, we have to do the bonus, don't we?
No, we're going to have to miss this week.
Oh, okay. Then let's wrap.
Kaya, we can do an extra Criminally Stupid tomorrow, though, if you're around. We'll do 2, maybe.
I would say you guys do 10.
We can talk about it. Okay, thanks for our very typical bar conversation. Yep. Can you fight a grizzly bear?
What was this episode? This was, can you smoke penis cigarettes and can you beat this animal in a fight?
Good.
That's all. Yeah. I love these episodes.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Patreon.com/theofficialpodcast and official.men for bonus ad-free content, early access as well, a few days in advance, usually like 3 or 4 days in advance. That's across our series, including Red Thread and Criminally Stupid. Criminally Stupid is basically just exclusive content over there currently because we can't put it on YouTube. So it's basically just a Patreon exclusive series in of itself. Patreon.com/theofficialpodcast and official.men. Go check them out if you want more content. Thanks, guys. Stay safe out there against all this wildlife.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.